name is Wala and I'll be your host for today. Are you ready? I'm ready for today. We're gonna burn them shoulders and legs. Of course. I have my 2 water bottles and my 2 chairs as usual. That's the standard. We do that so that you are able to program and know that I'll be here and I'll be needing these 2 here. My energy is so right today. So we're gonna kill it, alright? Yes, I'm gonna give you 30 seconds to get everything together. I know you have most of the things together, but just in case you forgot your water or your water bottle, and then we will also need 2 other smaller water bottles or 2 pairs of glass, 2 pairs of pair of cups, just so that you are able to use it during the workout. So we're going to burn shoulders and legs today. Are you ready? Let me give you 30 seconds. Let me give you 30 seconds just to get everything right. Yes. I'm putting our timer as usual. There we go. Our timer starts. So we have 30 seconds starting now. Even me, I'm just getting ready, getting everything together. But yes, I am ready for this. Make sure you have your drinking water as usual. You hydrate, right? You hydrate. So let's wait for the timer. We have 5 more seconds to go. 5 more seconds to go. And there we go. Our time's up. So we'll start with our warm-up. We'll do jump squats. We'll switch sides like that and that. That is 1, right? And then we're going to do 10 of that and 10 of jumping jacks and that. All right, so that our shoulder rotator cuff also warms up. At the same time we get to warm up our legs. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3 and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well done. So we're going to do jumping jacks. 1, 2, 3 and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well done. Our rest time starts now. Breathe in and out. In and out. You have 10 more seconds to go. 10 more seconds. Our time's up. All right. We go for warm-up set number 2. Remember, we have 2 more sets to go. So let's kill 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well done. Let's do the jumping jacks. 1, 2, 3 and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and out. In and out. In. Well done. Walk around. All right, time's up. Last set. Are you ready? I'm awake. I'm awake. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well done. Let's go. 1, 2, 3 jumping jacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Are you ready for our next workout? Our rest time starts now. Today I'm going to give a shout out to everybody who's been following Tizenyumbani ever since it started. Those who've been hitting my DM with those messages. God bless you for keeping me company and for us doing this, because first, you've lost weight. Secondly, you're getting your day started with new energy. Remember, my name is Ibinovival Health and Fitness. If you have any feedback, always hit my DM, and then we get to make it better just for you. But now it's time to pick our weight. Oh, there we go. The time's up. Time's up. It's time to pick the weight. Okay, so we are going to do a deadlift, then upright row. There we go. Deadlift, then upright row. Are we ready? We're going to do 15 times 3. So basically we're working out the shoulder and the legs. Most of the combos that we're going to do is going to comprise of shoulder and legs. So the deadlift goes here, but mostly you will also feel your core holding tight. There we go. 1, 2, 3, and go. 1, 2, nice. You got the rhythm. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Well done. Well done. Our rest time starts now. So we have 2 more sets of that. 2 more sets of that. When you're doing your deadlift, make sure you stick your back out and make sure this is as straight as possible when you go down. Please make sure you don't round your back. Your back held straight and your backbone locked in to secure your frame. We have 2 more seconds and our time's up. Let's go to set number 2. Set number 2. 1, 2, 3, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, keep going, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Well done. Well done. Our rest time starts now. Our rest time starts now. Walk around, walk around. All right. I'm loving it. Walk around. We still have 10 more seconds. 10 more seconds to go. 10 more seconds. And there we go. Time's up. Time's up. All right. Last set. Last set. Let's kill it. 1, 2, 3, and move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. If you did that with me, well done. Well done. Our rest time starts now. Our rest time starts now. Our rest time starts now. All right. Look around. Look around. Look around. All right. Five more seconds to go. 5 more seconds. And our time's up. Our time's up. Let's go. So our next workout, we're going to hold the water bottles like that. For some of you who have dumbbells, you're better placed, but we're going to go down 1. All right. So we're going to do 20 times 3. Yes, we can. You know, I wanted to say 15, but I remembered something. Like this week, I have to make sure I challenge you and challenge myself, right? Perfect. Let's go. Hold it there. 1, 2, 3, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 5 more, 1, 2, 3, 4, one more, and of course 5. Well done, well done. If you did that with me, our rest time starts now. Our rest time starts now. Oh my goodness. This squat and press. Squat for the legs and press for the shoulders. Squat and press. Let's go. Our time's up. Let's go for the next set. Are you ready? All right, let's go. 1, 2, 3, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 4 more, 17, 18, 19, 20. Well done. Well done, well done. Our rest time starts now. Our rest time starts now. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. We have 20 seconds to go. 20 seconds. Look around. Walk around, walk around. Oh my God, I'm feeling so good. Walk around. We have 3 more seconds to go. 3 more seconds to go. We're gonna go for our last set. We're going for our last set. Are you ready? I'm feeling my shoulders coming through. Those shoulders are coming through. All right. 1, 2, 3, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 5 more, 16, 17, 18, 19, 1 more, 20. Well done, well done, well done. Our rest time starts now. Our rest time starts now. Oh goodness, that felt so nice. That felt so nice. That felt so nice. Look around. Remember we said it's shoulders and legs. Shoulders and legs. And there we go. Time's up. Time's up. So our time's up. Next, we are going to go to these small water bottles. But before we do that, let's put this on the side, right? Let's put that on the side. So we're going to do lunges and side laterals. So you're going to go down, then 1. Nice. 1. So we're going to do 12 on each leg, which means 24 lateral raises. So fill the water bottles, your bottles with water if you need more weight on them. I didn't put water in mine because I was scared they're gonna leak here. So I'm going to use them without water. So put water in your water bottles to add weight to it if you need more resistance, or if you're using dumbbells, the better. Take whatever dumbbells you feel comfortable with that you can superset a lunge and comfortably do a side lateral. So let's go. 1, 2, 3, hold your core, 4, and stay upright, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Well done, well done. If you did that with me, you did an amazing job. Let our rest time sit now. Our rest time sits now. Our rest time sits now. Walk around. Walk around, walk around. All right. Thank you, NTV, for bringing us to the new money. Because now we are able to work out from home, feeling safe, even with the current situation. We are feeling like we're not missing out anything, right? There we go, time's up. Time's up. Let's go for set number 2. Remember, we have 2 more sets. So let's go for set number 2. 1, 2, 3, and move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Keep going. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Well done, well done. Our rest time, sit now. Our rest time, sit now. Walk around, walk around, walk around. Walk around. All right. All right, all right. 10 more seconds to go. 10 more seconds to go. 10 more seconds to go. And our time's up. Our time's up. Let's go for the last set. Are you ready? Last set. 1, 2, 3, and go. 1, 2, 3, keep going. 11. One more to go. Yeah, you got that. And one more. There we go. 12. Well done, well done. You did well. Walk around. Look around, look around. Walk around. Our rest time starts now. Walk around. Walk around. Walk around. We have 5 more seconds to go. 5 more seconds to go. And time's up. Time's up. So our next workout, which is actually our last workout, we're going to do that times 15, and then we do 15 passing squat. Okay. 1, 2, 3, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. This is what I didn't say. Hold it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Then we go the next set. I didn't say we're gonna rest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. You got this. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Let's go. Last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Well done, well done. If you did that with me to the end, probably you're dripping like I am. Thank you for joining us on Tizi Nyumbani. My name is Evelyn Owala of Eval Health and Fitness. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter, EVEAL on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. Meanwhile, go out there and conquer the world. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.
It's one platform where everybody has a voice.
If we don't have jobs, if we don't have money, if our business...
Hosted by the King of Wit.
Do you know the Bible to that much detail? Ama hizi ni zile tu zinaendanishana na dhambi zenye unajua.
It's basically everybody's show.
Vitamin C ni cassava, shauri ya nguvu. Vitamin D ni dania. I have decided.
The Wicked Edition with Dr. King Ori and the Guesswork CEO, Kinya. Chewy,
The Kisumu County Assembly specializes in stimulants, to be specific, concentrated coffee.
where humor meets sense.
Moses Kuri alinitwanga hapa serious.
Soldiers wanakuanga wameka polisi kids. Mbona nyinyi mkimbiangi mkituona?
The Wicked Edition. Every Friday at 7:30 p.m. Only on NTV.
This is home, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's a
Anne Murungi, the journalist who changed careers to become the sales and marketing director of Kempinski Hotel, Accra. In Kigali, how Kenyan civil engineer Nancy Njagi has positioned herself in Rwanda's fast-growing construction industry. On Kenya to the World, why Kenya's herbal tea is hot in Europe. And on My Magical Kenya, the pleasure and leisure at Elia Springs along Lake Turkana.
Greener vegetable oil stays liquid to the last drop, so it's smooth cooking from start to finish. Now with an easy-to-pour cap, mapishi poa, madishi poa.
This is NTV.
Hello, East Africa. Welcome to your world this Friday, the 23rd day of October. And today we focus on the serious business of comedy. Good morning. My name is Joseph Warungu, and coming up.
Hii sura yake ni kama imetengenezwa na fundi wa viatu mwenye ako kwa haraka.
We take a look at the different sides of comedy and how comedians have been coping during this pandemic. Uzbekistan comedians test the limits of what they can or cannot say in a strict, no free speech kind of country. Nigerians react to the brutality they faced during a police crackdown aimed at stopping a peaceful protest against police brutality. Low traffic in the Hong Kong waters has seen the return of pink dolphins. And as we focus on comedy this morning, we're asking you, what's the best joke you've ever heard? Share with us on our hashtag NewNormal or indeed our WhatsApp line, which will be flashing at the bottom of your screen. But first, let's track the journey of the new coronavirus around the world. Starting with global numbers, 41,992,013 people from across the globe have so far been confirmed positive for COVID-19. Of these, 31,184,544 have recovered, while sadly we've lost 1,142,731 people from around the world as a result of COVID-19. On the African continent, South Africa has the highest numbers, and this is the situation there. 710 8,515 people confirmed positive for COVID-19. Out of this, 642,560 have so far recovered, while in South Africa they've lost 18,843 people. To our region now, starting with our own country, Kenya, 47,212 people so far confirmed positive for COVID-19, and out of this, 33,050 have so far recovered, and sadly, we've lost 870 people here in Kenya. Some of our neighboring countries, starting with Uganda, this is the situation there. 11,041 people confirmed positive for COVID-19. Out of this, 7,210 have so far recovered, and in Uganda, they've lost 98 people thus far. Moving on to Somalia, 3,897 people so far tested positive for COVID-19. 3,166 have recovered, and sadly, in Somalia, 102 people have so far passed on as a result of COVID-19. To Rwanda, 5,017 people so far confirmed positive for COVID-19. Out of these, 4,803 have so far recovered, and in Rwanda, as at this moment, 34 people have passed on as a result of COVID-19. No data from Tanzania or Burundi because the statistics there has remained stationary for the last few months. Now, I look at some of the other stories we have for you this morning. The Bagad of Lan Bihu, a traditional Breton music group from the French Navy, performs an unprecedented concert in front of the Giza Pyramids necropolis on the southwestern outskirts of the Egyptian capital, Cairo, during its only outing abroad in 2020 due to the coronavirus. The band, composed of about 30 musicians, arrived in Egypt for the commemoration of the Battle of El Alamein, October to November 1942, near Alexandria in the north. Pascal Master, the Pen Bagad stage manager, logistics and training manager of the French Navy bagpipe band, says, "We're here for the Navy's exposure, so that's part of it. For us, the icing on the cake is that it's the first and only trip abroad that we'll have made this year due to COVID-19. A new sign language cafe has opened in Uganda's capital, Kampala, to challenge stereotypes about the deaf and train people with disabilities. 4 deaf workers serve clients who communicate by writing notes. The Endiro Coffee Sign Language Cafe opened in the capital, Kampala, on August the 12th this year. It's the first sign language coffee, a local chain in Uganda, and the first sign language cafe in Kampala. The country has at least one other sign language cafe, which is in the city of Jinja to the east of Kampala. The chain already had deaf employees and wanted to show inclusivity by opening the cafe. The goal is to raise awareness about people with disabilities. The cafe will also train deaf people, and workers communicate in sign language with each other while customers use notepads to make their orders. Sudanese protesters rallied Wednesday against a deepening economic crisis, but a large police and army presence prevented mass demonstrations that had been called for online. The activists in the capital Khartoum and its twin city of Omdurman also demanded justice for those killed during the popular uprising that toppled President Omar al-Bashir last year. Sudan has embarked on a rocky 3-year transition since then under a joint civilian-military administration that has struggled with severe economic woes and skyrocketing consumer prices. More than 100 protesters were Wednesday chanting anti-government slogans, waving the Sudanese flag and burning car tires. Police forces fired tear gas to disperse the small gatherings in Omdurman and Khartoum, said witnesses. And still on the theme of protests, hundreds of people, many of them Nigerian nationals, take to the streets of Cape Town in South Africa to voice outrage at the shooting of peaceful demonstrators in Nigeria. Africa's most populous country has faced growing unrest as a protest over brutality by a Nigerian police unit known as SARS ballooned into wider grievances against the government.
We are here as Nigerians to say no to bad governance. Yes. Our country is in disarray. There is a video that went viral yesterday. We say everyone should go and watch it. Nigerians being killed. They turned off the lights just because they wanted to kill Nigerian youth that are protesting. They said that our youth are lazy. But look at us.
I said they want. What will make me happy if the sand is ended, if SWAT is ended, if they stop killing Nigerian youth, if they stop wasting the livelihood of Nigerian citizens, and if Buhari must go, and if they compensate those that have lost their life, and if they stop killing our heroes, that will make me happy. I release those.
Witnesses of last night's deadly crackdown on demonstrations in Lagos say it was a brutal, incomparable attack against peaceful demonstrators. According to Amnesty International, at least 12 people were killed during the crackdown in 2 locations.
Nobody is holding a stick, neither a gun, nothing. All what we are holding is a flag. Apart from the flag, nothing much, nothing. So all what we are saying is peace, 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 peace. But the soldiers refuse. Before you know it, they off the camera. After offing the camera, the next thing they off the light and begins shooting spreadingly.
It was brutal. It's incomparable. It's beyond my experience. I've never experienced this in Nigeria before, but it is. No one can deny that governor is not knowing about this. Because why do they off the lights and killing people?
They wear masks, some wear masks inside them. Where they take on. So as they fire, they wear uniform.
They were how many uniform? They were up to 20.
They have with the uniform,
army uniform.
With the uniform army. With the uniform army. Now they take come.
There was no
There's no name for there.
And no
as they just attack us from back and from front.
They arrive around 7 when everywhere is dark, so that nobody will know what they're about to do. And we don't have in mind they're about to kill, destroy people, because we've been here for like 2 weeks. So when I'm about to leave, they came and they start shooting up. First of all, When they shoot gun from that step to that toge, they now start shooting people. Straight bullets.
So that's the situation in Nigeria over the last few days. Now, he's one of Kenya's funniest, most celebrated comedian, MC, actor, and now he's a presenter. He's moved his talents from TV to the interview webs on his new show. Jessy Jackson, take a look.
How did you meet him? Ndio ukaenda kukuwa una act na yeye hapo kama awili.
So nikimit Papa, kitambo sikuwa na mfeel, aki Mungu woye. Ni kama sikuwa na feelingi watu wote.
Yeah, hata mimi huko ni feel.
Shida ni yeye.
Shida ni yeye. Shida haiwezi kuwa kila mtu.
Si kila mtu. Mimi ulikuwa unani feel the first time.
Imagine nilikuwa ngani ulikuwa ringa.
Na mtu wangu kiendelea hivyo, hautapata mzee. Mungu kwambia hizi vitu.
Usiniambie
Anza tu kupenda watu kama uwajui.
Uko na dawa ama bado inatafuta.
Haina dawa.
Ama upendi watu around you.
I think what Mimi and I think it's a human thing. Even for me with Papa, it was the same thing. So wakati nililetewa script na bestetu fulani anaitwa Androniko. Androniko was part of wale wase Papa ikianza. Yes. So akaniambia ni aje kuna hii script, nikamza ni script ya Papa nataka. Nikasema nani Bukeko? Kasema nikamwambia anyway wacha tu niende nikasome script nione kama
nitajisikia.
Nitajisikia, you know. Unaweza fikiria hiyo nilikuwa na kazi kubwa, sikuwa na kitu. So nikaenda nikasoma script. I fell in love with that character. Yeah, Will Broden kasema, damn, this I want to do.
Yes. Now, when they open their mouths, we crack up. But to them, comedy is no laughing matter. It's actually serious business. So what does it take to make it in comedy? And when you've made it, how do you stay the course? And when you go off course, how do you get up again? Those are some of the issues we'll explore this morning as we focus on comedy. So let me welcome my guest. We hope we'll be joined by someone else shortly. But for now, MC Jessy, a comedian, otherwise known as Jasper Mudomi. Karibu sana, good morning and welcome to your world.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
I'm grateful and thank you for inviting me.
Right.
This set looks like Jessy Junction. I sit there and my guests sit here.
So it's familiar territory?
Yeah, it's familiar. So this time
and guess
around
what?
It's me
at a wardrobe
as a
you've
guest.
matched with the sofa. So
yeah, so many material.
So go home. Like it's just me to interview, not you interviewing people.
Yeah, imagine.
So we just turn the tables kidogo.
Yeah.
But how are you doing?
I'm great, and you?
Okay, I'm very well.
Tuko sawa?
Sawa.
We can't complain.
Na kuona upo Doha, ukiongea na watu wa Oregon.
Oh yeah. Yes, that's me. That's me.
Traveling around.
That's me traveling around the world.
Yes.
And enjoying life.
Cool.
Yes.
Sasa, now, it's been a difficult season with this pandemic.
Yes.
How have you navigated this season?
Well, it's not been easy. You can imagine for us, we're used to performing in front of a live audience. And I remember very well when the president announced that there'll be no more social gatherings. We were organizing the South Sea show with Churchill. And people had already paid, the tents were there, the setup, everything was done. And then he cancels. He says no more social gatherings. So we were fired that day. Wow. The president fired us.
Corona fired you, actually.
No, you'd have said, let's continue, but, you know, take care of yourselves and all that, precautions. But you see, he said no more social gatherings. Even now, yes, people are still gathering in small ways, but, you know, it's not supposed to be happening. Because Corona is real. It is there. I know people that have suffered Corona, so it wasn't an easy thing also for us, because when he said no more social gatherings, that's it. We stopped recording that day. We had to think of something else to do.
So it means live performances?
No live performances.
No live audience?
Yeah, no live audience, and that was it. And that day we had to just do the show, you know, without audience. So we just sat there and thought, just put the cameras on. We see what we can do. And we did something for the first episode, and that was that.
So when you recorded that on audience, do you imagine the laughter? How does it work?
It's not easy. It's hard. We've been turned into radio presenters,
right?
But now on camera, because you know radio presenters, they are like There are crazy people who are enclosed in a small room
and you have no
talking
idea how
to
the
themselves.
audience is. Absolutely.
Yeah, talking to themselves and just playing music. But this time around for us, we're not playing music. So we just had to improvise and think of ways we can do this because we didn't know for how long the pandemic is going to be there. People used to say, after Corona, what is after Corona? Corona is not a festive season.
Yeah.
It's not like Christmas or Easter. After Easter, we are going to do this. After this Christmas in January, we're going to... There was nothing like after Corona. So we just had to think of things to do during the pandemic. And such ideas are what we came up with Jessy Junction. Jessy Junction was an idea that was there before, that we wanted to do with the live audience.
Whose time had not yet come.
Yeah, whose time had not yet come. So we were like, you know what, we wanted to do this show. So instead of just waiting for Corona to be over, why not just do a home edition? Because it came out of stay home, stay safe idea. We had the show. The show is there. It had a pilot, actually. We had done with a very big team. And it was a live audience show. It was done like 2 years ago.
Wow.
So we thought, why not just make it smaller? Let's go home. And we decided to make Jessy Junction. We had a lot of work looking for sets and all that. My team went on research mode to look for the kind of set that can work at home. Because we didn't just want to shoot Jessy Junction just like that, like we put a couch there and here and we just do the show. We wanted to do something good for the people. Because to some extent I'm a perfectionist. So I like fine things. So we decided on that and it came about, and it's doing so well. So I can say thank God for Corona.
So there's a bright side of Corona.
Yeah, there is a bright side of Corona. And the other bit that I've experienced is people have really moved to digital. We used to have shows on YouTube. People used to enjoy our content on YouTube. But this is the time people are really, really going to watch our digital platforms.
So now you moved from addressing a really audience sometimes of hundreds of people to speaking just one-on-one with a single guest and just your crew.
Yeah. So the interviews are amazing. And we are used to, when we even interview someone, there's a reaction immediately. There's an immediate reaction. We see people just laughing, and you can feel it. You can tell when you've asked the best question. You can tell when your interviewer has responded well. But now with this one, it was different because we are the ones who need to tell ourselves that was a good one. That question was good. That answer was amazing. People will love it. We just tell ourselves that during the edit. But when there's a live audience, the producer can edit the show right there. He can mark the highlights and go and edit the highlights and put on maybe the serious bit. But with this one, it's crazy. We have to, when the editor takes the show and edits it, we have to sit back again, the whole crew, and go through the whole interview. We say this content, we see whether the content is good according to what we intend to achieve. Because Jessy Junction is about inspiration. It's about giving people hope. It's not a blog show. It's a show that after you watch, you feel rejuvenated.
Now, I've seen you managed to attract some big names from the industry, from all walks of life, some influencers who are very well. Has that been easy, or is that just, hey, guys, show up?
No. It's not easy to get guests. There are some people who tell me I don't do interviews. There are others who say, I'll come. There are others who... But mostly, I thank God that for up to this time, most of the guests actually agree to come. We research on the guests. We understand why we need to do. We ask ourselves, why do we need to interview this particular person? And then we reach out to them. We explain to them what the show is all about. And most of them apparently have watched the show. So most of them come for the show. I've not encountered a place whereby guests have refused to come. No, they don't tell me, no, I won't come. They may be postponed. They may tell me, I'm not available this coming week, but maybe the month of November, the first week, I can come. So we just schedule them that time.
Okay.
So getting the guest is not easy.
Now then, turning yourself into an interviewer, because I've seen the couple that I've seen, you managed to get these people to confess things which are deep in them, that they may not even necessarily have shared in public before.
Yes.
now that and you making noise in front of an audience is a very different world.
Yes, it is. Let me tell you, first of all, I miss the live audience.
Right.
I miss people. I miss when I used to jump on stage.
And I should apologize on behalf of NTV. We only have these two camera guys with you, but the nation is watching.
And you see, we recorded a lot of cameras, so when I jump this side, I know there's a camera person this side. When I walk this way, I know there's someone capturing me. There's a jeep somewhere, so when I turn, I know I'll look up and there's a camera there.
Do you rehearse those moves, or you just, wherever you turn, they
You
should
have
follow?
to rehearse with the producer. The producer and director have to tell you, we have a camera here, we have another one here. And if you didn't come for the rehearsal, you have to go and ask. As a host, you must ask.
Right.
Maybe the performers don't really need to ask, but they are told during the rehearsal, this is where you'll stand. But now for me, I like running around, I have to ask the director, how many cameras do you have today? Then he tell me, I have 5, where are they? And then I would look even at his sketch where he has placed the camera. We had a fantastic director, J. Blessing. He's amazing. Then we had a producer, Leonard Kitili. So when you work closely with those people, the producer and director, trust me.
I know Leonard well.
So you won't miss anything. So they used to tell me, today don't go this side. We haven't put lights on that side because there's some people don't want to be seen. So I would know where to go.
Yeah.
I miss that. Now turning me into now someone who is seated where you are,
right,
interviewing people. I have difficulty, first of all. I talk too much.
Yes.
I know that's my weakness. Even when I go to meetings, I tell guys, first of all, as we start, before you ask me any question, just know that when you ask me a question, I'll answer it in like 5 minutes. I'll take like 5 minutes to explain. So with this Jessy junction, sitting there, listening to the guest, it's challenging because sometimes I feel like talking. But my director will tell me, no.
It's the guest.
It's the guest.
Yeah.
Just wait. I would crack some jokes and he'd be like, now what is that? Let the guest enjoy the show. Now, so it's been difficult for me interviewing people.
Where does this, and sometimes you come across like a ball of energy, you know, on steroids, like you can jump. I've actually looked at a lot of photographs that you've taken and you are either flying through something or even you famous poster with your hands sticking out. Where does that energy come from?
Well, I don't use any intoxicants.
I'm sure.
I think I'm blessed. I'm so blessed with energy, and I thank God for that. I'm just a happy chap, you know. I don't take things seriously. That is one thing I can tell you. I love living life, you know, enjoying every moment that I have. For example, the way you've asked me about the guests coming and opening up to me. When you carry positivity in you, you exhume that. You pass that to people. People open up to you if you're really, really genuine to them. I make my guests laugh. We laugh a lot. And I find them just telling me things I can't believe. And they also tell me, you know, I've never said that to anyone. So please make sure you air that one. And I asked them, why did you tell me that? They're like, it's your energy that is giving me the confidence to open up. And then they tell me, I feel safe when I'm seated in your show. I don't feel like you're going to bombard me with a lot of questions that I don't want to listen. I mean, I don't want to hear. You make me say what I want to say. And that is Jessy Junction. And the energies that you walk around with, my friend, is what people will respond to. If you walk with a smile around, people will smile back at you.
If you walk with darkness.
If you walk in darkness, my friend, you're going to hell in a limo. So just smile. And then life is not too long. Life is, I don't actually say life is short. I always say life is amazing. Because being alive is so good. We've seen dead people. They don't look like they're happy there. So if you're alive, smile, be good to people. Be good to the watchman down there. Be good to your house girl. Do you even laugh with them? Or you think they're not individuals? They're not human beings. Laugh with them.
One of the most touching episodes that I've seen from Jessy Junction is Jackie. Jackie is a 25-year-old woman who's diagnosed with stage 3 of breast cancer. And I watched through that, and I must say, we've had this experiences and these encounters by a lot of people, but I found that story really, really touching, especially when she, contemplates on how as she was given that news, heading home to Rongai, she almost wanted to, to take her own life.
Yeah.
How was that experience for you?
Wow, I think of all the interviews I've done on Jessy Junction, that was the most touching, the one that actually made me almost cry. Because how I met Jackie is a friend of mine owns a spa in Yaya. She's called Miss White, Whitney. So the Miss White spa gave me some vouchers. She told me, go and give your fans. And so when I went through my comments and I told guys, this is what you can do to win a voucher for Miss White Spa, somebody just wrote down there. Actually, she inboxed me. She told me, I can't write this in public. Let me inbox you and I hope you'll be able to read. So she gave me her story. And she didn't actually expound. She told me, I'm a breast cancer survivor, so I'm a breast cancer warrior, so if you give me that voucher, it will go a long way after chemotherapy, and now I can go for massage or something like that. So I decided this person is sick. I can't tell them, come to our offices to get your voucher. So I decided to go there.
You drove yourself?
Yeah, I asked her, please drop me a pin of where you need the voucher to be dropped. So she sent me a pin, and I realized it's in Rongai. So we went, I asked my producer to accompany me so we can see this person. And again, I'm going in to see somebody. You can't just go alone. So I asked my producer to go with me. So when we went there, and she saw me, first of all, she didn't expect that I'm the one that will come. So I just went there, and it was an amazing experience meeting her. But when I met her, she didn't look like someone who had cancer. I had this in mind that people who have cancer are, it has really affected them. They look weak and all that.
On
so
screen,
when I saw that,
she's very strong.
She's strong.
Very courageous. Yeah.
So when I spoke to her, she gave me a story, and that she told me, you know what, Jessy, invite me on Jessy Junction. I tell you my story there. And I felt like crying that moment. She just told me I have breast cancer. I'm like, she told me I can give you my story, but let's go. You talk about it on Jessy Junction. So I asked the producer, what do you think? He told me, actually, October is a month of breast cancer.
Which is where we're in now. Yeah.
Why don't you host her? And the producer is like, yeah, let's go and do it. So we went to research on we didn't do a lot of research on her because she didn't tell us a lot of her story. So we did a research on breast cancer. And so we decided, let's host her. When she came there, I tell you, most of the time, I was quiet. It's just that I couldn't cry in front of the camera. And then you see,
I was watching your
Meru.
facial reactions, and
Yeah.
you had a very somber expression almost all through.
I tell you, I was crying inside. It's just that I'm from Meru, and Meru people, you don't really cry in front of people. So Meru men are taught to be, strong. So I was crying inside, but I couldn't talk. But it was the most moving interview I've done. For those who haven't watched it, go and watch the interview with Jackie Jude. It's so touching.
What did you take away from that experience shared with you?
The life is not what sometimes we think about. Don't despise anyone because, you never know the battles they're fighting. You might meet someone in the streets and then maybe they just brush you on the shoulder and then you start abusing them without knowing maybe their mind is not there. Maybe somebody has just been given bad news. Like Jackie, she was planning her wedding. And she was planning her wedding in a month's time. And when she went to hospital, she felt some lumps and then went to hospital. And she was diagnosed with breast cancer. A month to her wedding. That story was touching. And that one teaches me that actually, I can imagine that day when she came from the hospital, because she told the story, it's there on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, Jessy Junction. When you go on, when she went to hospital, then went back, when she was going back home, she was not in her right mind. So I'm assuming maybe that time she might maybe have bumped into somebody, or maybe somebody might have said hi to her and she kept quiet. And maybe the reaction from the other person would have been something bad. So that's why I'm saying it taught me that when I'm walking in the streets or when I'm dealing with someone, I just need to be kind to them. Everybody needs to be kind to the other person because you don't know the battles they're fighting. Maybe that person you're despising, maybe that soldier, Apo Chini, Apo Nation Center, when you nambia, soldier, talk up. Maybe that soldier just got a bad report in the morning, but he had to come to work. Maybe the wife died. Maybe the wife is sick. Maybe the child is sick at home. And then you're just being mean to your fellow human being around. So Jackie's story taught me to be kind to everybody.
And I can see that it touched quite a lot of people. People started even actually fundraising for Jackie and her husband, actually.
Yes.
How is that going?
Well, it's going so well. The husband needed a job. There's some people who asked him to send a CV. his CV. So he has done that. And Jackie, till today, she's still receiving money because the video is still on YouTube. So everybody who watches it for the first time, it's the first time they're experiencing her story. It's the first time they are feeling the need to help. So they are sending her money every single day there. She was supposed to go through 8 chemotherapy sessions. She had done 4 by the time we were doing the interview. And people have really come in to support her that she's been able to pay for 2 extra chemotherapies. So she's about to go there for the last 2, so that they be, the last 2, yes, the last 2, so there'll be 8, and after that she's going through the radiotherapy, and after that she's going through the surgery to remove both her breasts.
Okay, so now, obviously, it's good to hear that the spirit of Kenyan generosity has come through.
Yeah.
And staying with the theme of health challenges, we've also seen comedians who have gone into depression.
Starts with you. It begins inside of you. Why did you join comedy? Why did you want to do this? Did you have a vision about it, or you came in to look for money or fame or something, or whatever is purported to be around comedy? So what did you come to do? That is a question you need to answer yourself. Because if you don't know why you came to do comedy, or why you're getting into entertainment, why you're singing, why you're doing poetry, you may actually be very, very frustrated in the industry. We have seen people who have said, who come to our DMs and tell us, please help me, I want to be a great comedian like you. It's okay you want, but do you have a vision for it? Because sometimes I feel sad for young people who want to get into entertainment, to be famous and be rich. And that is not the case. That is not the case. You can be famous and so broke, I tell you. You can be famous and so broke. So you need to understand when you're broke how to live life, because you might end up being so depressed. With what? You came in to look for fame and money. Then when you don't find it, the opposite is what? Frustrations. You feel demoralized. Like, for example, this pandemic has come. No one foresaw it coming. It has come and stopped the comedy industry or performances for musicians. We're trying to do virtual concert all over. When we said, when the president gave a stimulus program of 100 million, yes, the publics that we entertain are the ones who castigated the artists, saying, why are they being given money? There are people who are hungry. You are frustrating them as the audience. You're the one making these people go into depression. You'll find MC Jessy in a matatu. Instead of even paying fare for him, you're like, unapandanga matatu. Kumbe wewe ni bure hivi. You see, you are frustrating that particular individual. So you are in charge of these people. You're in charge of the comedians. You're in charge of the musicians. When you see them go through something, don't despise them. Why don't you want to help them? Then, like, for example, in our industry, we've lost... during this pandemic, we've lost Kase, we've lost Othol. Othol is going to be married tomorrow in CIA. We're all going to be there. He was going through some medical issues for a very long time. I've seen people write on people's pages accusing other comedians, oh, you did not support. Are you even in those groups of comedians? Do you know that we are a family somewhere? Do you know we help each other? Do you know we call each other? Every gathering needs to have their own way of working. We have our own way of relating. There's those who are close to others. There are others who just are lone rangers. There are others who are like the best in the group. There are others who are so quiet. So, but when you call them, they come. So there is a family there.
So, but just to be clear, there is money in comedy if you know what you're doing, or if you have a plan for it, you have a vision for it. If you know
what you're doing, if you're disciplined and all that, let me not call it money. You can make a living.
Yes.
The way you earn a salary here, you can pay yourself a salary. You live per that. Discipline yourself in that. Don't overlive. Don't live beyond your means. So, it is possible. You can pay yourself.
For this kind of people who get into trouble, is it pressure that they end up living beyond their means?
Yeah, I can say sometimes it's pressure. Society expectations about them, so they give into it. The society can expect you to drive a Mercedes, so you go and drive it.
But can you afford
Mimi
it?
nimetoka Meru, my friend, imevuka 14 rivers. Kumakavita, Motonga, Nithi, all those rivers ni kuja kufika Nairobi. Alafu wewe umetoka hapa Kayole mali unaweza tembea kama una fare. You tell me how to live. Baba, okay. Siwezi. I think the Meru thing in me has helped me here. Because one thing I would say is, I know what I came to do in Nairobi. I don't care hapa kando ni nini, nani yuko kama nini unaniambia. All I know is kuna kitu nilikuja kutafuta. If I don't find it, I was still going to look for it. So my energies are into that. Smile, happy, go for what you want. Any other voice, I don't listen to negativity. So that is Jessy. I try to coach that too. All the junior comedians that have been coming up. I was privileged to be hosting a show where most comedians are coming through. That is Churchill Raw on TV. I used to host that one. And I saw many young people come up and, you know, take the mantle and move on, and others fell off. They didn't get frustrated. They fell off and went on. So that particular moment, we used to mentor them. And before now the pandemic, we talk to them, we tell them this is it, and we can tell the ones that are there for fame and money and the ones that are there for with a vision. We inspire. That's why during all that comedy cycle, the people that have come out, we have MC Tricky, very focused, Professor Hammer, very focused. We have so many, Eddie Butita, YY, Mamito, Nasra, very focused, and you can see them doing something, even during this pandemic. The others who don't do anything, they sit around, you know, those can actually give in easily to pressure. However, the ones we have lost, I don't want to say it's depression or anything. No. Like I said, didn't die of depression. He just took something poisonous and he went because he had already started a business in Kino. So rule out that. People look at it like, oh, comedians are dying. No, we're not dying, man. We are so many. We are more than 150 comedians. We are many. Why don't you count on the ones that are living? Why don't you give them the motivation?
And when you talk about the community, the sense of community that you have as comedians, yes. But when you look at Othuol's case, he seemed a very lonely man towards, I know you guys came in to support, yeah. But it seems that you can spend your life in the public eye, keeping a nation entertained and happy away from their worries. And then you end up a very lonely person, you know, on your journey home. Yes. It can be depressing. It is possible. Even like the greatest comedian, Robin Williams. He lived entertaining the whole world and then committed suicide at an old age. When he was actually shooting movies, he died, he committed suicide. So you wonder, Bill Cosby is in jail, the greatest entertainer we had seen, you know, with whatever thing is being accused of. But the thing is, you can make people laugh, and then when you're going through issues, personal issues inside, you don't find anyone to talk to because perhaps they think you are a superhuman. Actually, let me say this to answer what you've said. People look at us as superhumans. They look at MC Jessy, they're like, huyu ni superhuman. Haezi kuwa hata ukimchuna haezi sikia kitu. So this guy is everything. Hata hawezi kosa pesa, hata ananga shida. So that, if it enters in your head, you know, you can frustrate yourself. Secondly, when people regard you highly, they look at you like, huyu ni ule mtu, huyu ni ule msee. This is that guy, Bazoo. Then they don't expect you to have issues. So when you have issues, you can't even go down to them to tell them your issues because they will discredit you. Let me give you another example. Did you know that celebrities don't even approach pastors? Because they are afraid. First of all, you have a big name. When you go to this pastor, he's already seeing you like this big person. You approach the pastor, MC Jessy, karibu sana, you are, unanichekeshanga. Ashaanza hapo na umekuja counseling. Umekuja counseling. Alafu na wewe, huko, mkoje? Habari ya Churchill? Munachekesha sana. Niambie,
Umeniletea nini? Na umekuja counseling. So when you tell him, I have an issue, I'm stressed. Wewe huwezi kuwa stressed bwana. Sisi, mimi, pastor anaanza kuambia shida. You end up counseling the pastor. Anakuambia, unajua hapa hata kanisa hatujalipa. Unajua tumeaffectiwa sana. Na hata washirika hapa. So the pastor start telling you, because they look at you like this is a superhuman.
But now talking about things that get into any celebrity's head, including comedians, you have people who were nobody on their way up. Once they reach Uko, the same guy who actually opened doors for him, you never pick up their calls. You completely forget where you've come from. What happens?
It's about personality. It's about you. It's not about the industry. It's not about the comedy. Let me quote the words of one interviewee I did called Mohammed, one police officer who told me he has never slapped anyone and never taken bribe and never been rude to anyone. He works at Nya House. He's well known. Let me quote his words. That it's not about the society. It's not about the comedy industry. It's not about the entertainment industry. It's about the individual. It's about you. Your character. That's who you are. If you don't pick people's calls after wamekusaidia ni wewe. If you're the kind who, after umesaidiwa, you go back and start abusing the same people that assisted you. It's you. It's not the industry. It's not anyone. It's you. You have a problem. As a musician, umesaidiwa hapa na Nyashinski, umesaidiwa na Sauti Sol, Calligraph amekusaidia umeinuka. Then once you get there, unasema, he's exploiting me. Calligraph ni mujinga. You are the problem. We've seen people wamesaidiwa na producers. They were not known. Then they sing. They are the problem. The same case even in the comedians. Let me tell you, let me say this before after the next question. Unaona jamaa anaitwa Churchill. That guy, I've deputized him for so long. And I think he's an amazing person. I've never spoken about him anyway. I don't really. I speak about him when I'm giving people motivation. But on national TV, I've never. But let me say something about this man. First of all, he's one of the humblest individuals I've met. And he had an opportunity to do a show here on NTV. He would have done it peke yake. He would have just done Churchill show. He didn't need us. He would have done the show. He comes, he does stand-up, does an interview with the guest, does another interview with the musician, and closes the show. But inside there, he decided, let me create an opportunity because I'm an artist as Churchill. Let me try look for other people, the ones that are telling me, oh, we need this chance. Because he was there during ridiculous time. The KJ, Walter, and Tony. He was there. And they would have done the show on their own. But they included him. Wanamwambia, kuja ufanye kakitu ka 2 minutes.
Yes.
Anafanya. And that kakitu kadogo ka 2 minutes is what gave back to Churchill. He was there even during In True Colors. In True Colors was a pool of comedians doing one show. Teamwork. So I saw him carry that to Ridiculous, given a chance on Ridiculous. From there to Churchill show, doing a show on his own in 2008. And then after that, opening a small window for some comedians to come in. He started with Eric Omondi, he's the firstborn. If Churchill did not open a door, that small door for Eric Omondi, and Eric was not paid. Churchill used to pay us from his own money. And even when I went and joined him, I was not being paid. He's the one who used to pay us. Because the show was owned by, the show was a collaboration between Churchill and another cinematics, the Bob Nyanja. They created the show together. So, when we came in, the production didn't have a budget for extra talent. Talent was who? Churchill. So, if you are coming in as a talent, pesa yako itatolewa wapi? From Churchill. And he actually agreed, pesa yake ikatwe, ipewe this artist ambao wanaingia, because he's the one. There's a production budget. He's the one who said, wacha niite Jessy, wacha niite Eric. People didn't know that time, kama utapewa pesa kidogo, ni yeye amekatwa yake. There's no production budget for any other talent. Ni yeye.
So when you hear all these kind of strange stories about Churchill,
so when we came in to do Churchill show, I remember the Churchill Live took a break so that we came back with Churchill show and Churchill Raw. He actually came here to NTV to bargain for us to have an extra show, because we can't all fit on Churchill show, to have an extra show, which was Churchill Roy, and I went and when I told him, you give me a show, I'll show you how to do it. Don't bother about it. You trust me. This one, if you go through, I'll fix it. I'll do it. I know how to. That was an extra show for just comedians. We didn't have guest musicians. No, hiyo ilikuwa Jessy, Ita, Kase, Ita, Tricky, Ita, Hamo. They were all created there. The brands came from that. That is what he came here to bargain for. He would have done the show alone. He would have gone as Churchill and does the show. But giving us an opportunity, I wouldn't be seated here were it not for Churchill.
Okay.
You wouldn't have known MC Jessy. I wouldn't have Jessy Junction come as here. You wouldn't know Sleepy come as here. You wouldn't know. Today, as we talk here, when you go on most radio stations, you'll find comedians. When you go to Easy FM here, Nation FM, you'll find comedians. From where? From the same family. When you go to Keys, when you go to Radio Maisha, Radio Jump, MC Tricky is there, Professor Amo is on Hot 96, Sugar Boy is on Radio Maisha. They are all over.
Just on that, MC Jessy, on these comedians who are everywhere, who branched, including people like Jalango, who go on to radio, you yourself have branched off, to do your digital show or your online show. Does that mean that there isn't enough to be made out of comedy? Lazima when a side hustle nyingine. Even Churchill himself does radio.
That is same maisha ni kuchipanga, my friend. So, you need to understand what you're looking for. Not everybody is chiseled for radio or chiseled for TV. The others actually hata hawana personality ya kuwekwa kwa TV, wakiketi hata watu. I love TV because you knew MC Jessy through TV. So through TV, nimekuwa nikiona this is where it's working. So stay kwa ile lane, it's working. I did radio on Hot 96, but I'm not the kind mwenye, I don't like employment. Let me say this. I don't like
you can't stay still.
I don't like being employed. I can't. I like thinking. I like entrepreneurship. So I love business. I love biashara. Ukiniambia tuuze kitu fulani, I do. So you must understand what you're looking for. For me, comedy...
And that's how you manage to create the multiple streams. Kuna emceeing, kuna bit of your show, kuna events, kuna all kinds of things that you do.
Yes, all that. We organize events. The first event we did in Meru, my vision was to make sure Meru inajulikana. You get, when I came from Meru, hakukuwa na events. I remember we just used to have radio presenters wanakuja kwa club. KBC radio presenters then, when I was born and raised in Meru. So the ones that used to come then, kina Jeff Mwangemi, John Karani, they used to come in a club, ilikuwa inaitwa Club Dimples in Meru. So we would pay 20 bob to see them. Wako kwa club, hata uwaoni unasikia tuko reggae show nini Jeff Mwangemi. So unachungulia ako wapi. Au muoni. So nikajiambia the day Mungu atanifungulia njia, I'll bring back entertainment where? In Meru. Kulikuwa kuna jaa watu huko nje. So I said, I'll try and do things differently. So when I got into entertainment, we went back to Meru. That is another avenue, as you're asking. Tukafanya kitu inaitwa a Meru Festival. The first ever big event to happen in Meru was Churchill Show. We went back there. That was my mission. I begged Churchill in Kambia, we have to go to Meru. Because I wanted to open up Meru to be an entertainment hub. So we went there. After that, because I wanted to do a Meru Festival. So anyway, let me use this to introduce the event. And after that, it happened. 9,000 people kumejaa hivi Meru.
Na ukaweka Meru kwa map. Sasa, we've got a clip here, MC Jessy. Among, one of the best guests with regards to the number of people who have watched is just an interview with Pastor Victor. Before we talk about this, let's take a short clip. Let's have a look.
So you began by having crusades in your house or outside?
Outside.
Unatoka nje? Or you used to advertise? Because how I've seen pastors do their crusades is they get posters out and then they advertise to people and people join. Let's say tunasema tunaenda Uhuru Park.
Yeah.
Like Pastor Nganga also has done that, Bishop
Yeah.
Muiru, you know them?
Yeah, Peace Muiru.
They advertise and then people come.
Yeah.
So how did you do yours for children to come and gather?
Mine I never advertised because I never used to know about poster. That time I'm still young at 5 years old. What I knew, there were crusades. So I gathered children. I just, take a maize cob and then I shout loud. Come together. And, I gather just like my team. I say, you're the one going to sing. You're the one going to do these and these. That's how I used to do my crusades.
And they would
come. They will gather together. Even people, they used to stop on the road and look. What is these children doing? But there must be people who might criticize. People say that I'm getting mad and I'm getting crazy. So at the same time, I'm preaching outside there. At those time, I used to use this Bible that you're given in a Catholic church. You know that one?
The small one.
Gideon.
The Gideon Bible, yeah.
So
the blue one.
Yeah, the blue one. The blue cover. Yeah. So I used to use that one. And I say glory to God because today I have my own Bible, not a Gideoness. Praise the living God. It's the glory of God.
Amen to that. Jessy, who is this guy with an accent to recognize from across the Atlantic somewhere?
The interview with Pastor Reverend Victor.
Yes.
Reverend Victor, I think I found him, like an amazing guy. He's all over social media.
Yeah.
Anajulikana, the youngest evangelist, the youngest televangelist, the youngest bishop, the youngest reverend. So, nikamtafuta tuonge. So I did a research about him, nikaona, and I actually found a lot of videos on Facebook. I find him praying at night. Kasema, let me invite him and yambi. And I had also seen him on crossover here on NTV, praying. And I'm like, wacha nitake kujua hii maneno hii kijana anasema. So I invited him. I was actually laughing because wakati alisema I was given that small Bible, the Gideon. I almost said Gideon boots. My mind was in Jamaica. So Victor, when he invited Victor, tulikuwa tunataka kujua kama ni nini yenye, he carries that he feels like people don't really appreciate it. Because he told me, you know what, Jessy, actually, when I preach, people attack me. People don't think I carry the Spirit of God.
Wow.
And me knowing about God and that God can use anybody and I don't despise anyone, as you are saying. So I decided, let me host Pastor Victor and people get to hear his story. And after Jessy Junction interview, actually people didn't abuse him no more. He told me people are so kind nowadays.
Right.
I'm able to speak. People can believe the message.
But he had an opportunity to explain himself.
Yeah, he had an opportunity to explain himself. And that's what I'm talking about. Don't despise that person. You never know what they're struggling with. Pastor Victor actually struggles with people who actually say bad things about his preaching, not even him. Enda ukasome kwanza. But he's in school. Si ati amekataa kusoma. Atuenda kwanza ukacheze na watoto wengine. He still plays as a child. So the thing is, he preaches. Hiyo tu ndio controversy. And for more of that story, go and watch it on Jessy Junction.
Well, thank you. A good moment to take a break. We'll be right back with more from MC Jessy right here on Your World.
takes a tough skin to live with vitiligo. Like, people out there see you like you are a curse.
I love my pattern. They are very beautiful. You know, when you accept it, people will accept you too.
This is not cancer. This is not HIV. Vitiligo is not contagious and will never be contagious.
We take time to understand what vitiligo is and the kind of stigma or life that those living with this condition have to face.
The procedure of reporting assets to Unclaimed Financial Assets Authority. Write an email to holders@ufaa.go.ke to request your profile to be created. Unclaimed Financial Assets Authority. Receive, safeguard, reunite. Along came
Do you really think that I enjoy seeing, despite all the years that have passed, that you're still madly in love with my husband? You took him away from me, like you always do. You're living the life that's supposed to be mine. You're absolutely crazy.
You need to understand that nobody wants you here.
I don't know why you hate us so much, madam. You certainly do.
Make my life hell, but if you mess with my daughter, I'll make you regret the day you were born.
Why would you break my heart this way?
And haven't you broken my heart?
Along came love, in association with Blue Band Peanut Butter.
Welcome back to Your World this Friday morning, and today we're focusing on comedy, the business of comedy. What does it take to make it on comedy, and how do you stay afloat once you're there? My guest is MC Jessy, otherwise known as Jasper Modhomi, man from Meru. He's told me he's crossed 14 rivers to get to where he is. He hasn't mentioned any lakes, so it means he's got still some mileage left in him. But just before we get back onto the conversation with him, now, when comic Akin Cheliev apologized for mocking the police in a video posted by Uzbekistan's Interior Ministry, his loyal fans feared the worst. Wearing a black mask, the diminutive actor, famous for his infectious grin, looked unusually serious as he explained that his hit comedy troupe Salty Bone had made a mistake. Aki Cholia, comic, says, it's not like before. Of course, there are people who do not interpret our art correctly. Yet, to a certain extent, there is freedom of speech, and there are people who support our work. I'm glad that such people are the majority. Why are we joking today on traffic police or other areas? Because freedom of expression exists, he says.
Serjant, stüval diye botam.
Nima qo'ydimizdim?
Umumiy 2 milyon.
Mashinani kaliti. 2 milyon 900 ming so'm so'rayapsan. Ama mashinaning o'zini 2 millionga olmaydi.
Okay, Uzbekistan traffic police didn't quite enjoy that comedy. They were the act. So every week, French comedian Bertrand Asclat writes the wave of satire for his comedy Brut en Canal, poking fun at current affairs without wading too much seriousness. Bertrand says, I'm an actor. I came to this profession late. That is to say that 22 years to get into it is a bit late compared to others. You can start later, but you can start earlier too. And the fact that I arrived like an outsider in this field, even my conservatory competition, which I also took like an outsider, playing scenes and adapting them into a character who was me, who was the character, said to have nothing to do with it. By constantly playing this entrance from the side, I think there's always been a little questioning of legitimacy that follows me all the time.
Par contre, le jour où on annule Art Cœur à vif, ou Malcolm, ou tous ces trucs, là je suis dans la rue, les gars. Là je suis dans la rue. Mais qu'il y a des moments où je parais plus intelligent que je ne suis. Déjà parce que le rythme de la vidéo est hyper rapide. Je dis ce qu'on peut encore être drôle quand on a de l'argent. Pour l'instant, j'y touche pas. Et je le garderai pour m'acheter un cheval quand tout sera effondré.
Juste quelques pièces que vous avez jouées.
Il y a longtemps, j'avais joué. Oui, alors, mais je crois que...
Okay, so let's get back into the discussion. But just before I draw in Jessy, let's see him in action in Churchill. He's teaching us a few things. Take a look.
Wanaume. Do you know handsome guys wanakuanga hata na walking style yao private? Yeah, ukiona mtu handsome akitembea you can tell. Baka anakaa tu pesa. You know, mtu kama huyu sijui mbona wanakuanga na gari. Hawafai kuwa na gari. Ako na walking style poa, anafaa kuwa anatembea town, si ndio? Ako tu hivi. Watu wenye wananga gari hata unawaoneanga faa surely. Mtu trao nyuma imeinuka, mbele iko hivi. Alafu akikuja anaanza kutembea tu. Alafu akikuona na kusalimia. Otherwise wanaitangwa nani ya watu? Kina nani? Viongo. Nakutananga nao kutown. Kina Viongo. Mtu ametembea hapo, ananiona na mimi natembea, unasikia. Ananisalimia, tunapitana na hata niangalia. MC, ohoro. You can tell Obama kuna wimbo anafikiria. Huyu ni Mkenya, anatokea tu hivi.
That's a man in action. I'll ask him in a moment whether these walking styles have changed with the pandemic. Maybe they have. But just before that, we've got some feedback from you on our hashtag New Normal. And this is what you've been saying. This first comment is from who? Let's take a look at the first one here. We'll get those comments in a few. Oh, whoa, here we are. Yes, thank you. The computer is working. Jemutai Inaro, these are the jokes. We asked you, what jokes have you heard, the best that you've heard in your life? And Kimutai says that if you wear the wrong shoe on your left foot, you could actually be wearing the right shoe. Where? Hiyo ni deep sana. Paul Bryan says, spending 20 years in school only to receive a wheelbarrow from the government. Okay, tumekuelewa. And then this one is from Sans Mburu. You say, pesa kidogo na ushaanza kugugu side effects za ugali. Okay, ushapanda bei, safi kabisa. And Atom, you say, eti curfew after saa 4 usiku. Saa 4 ndo sisi ukula sapa, ndio tutoke. Hata madem, wakuwagi wameconfirm. Okay, poa kabisa. Keep Junior, Alicon Junior said that I'm still jobless since I graduated. It is really a joke. Okay, you know, a serious joke tonight. Thank you. Keep them coming in. Now, MC Jessy.
Yes.
Have we improved on our working style? Your clip imeweza sana.
Imekuwa worse during the pandemic.
Oh, what has...
You know, I've seen you review some clips about people, the things they do, and some have gotten in trouble. Hata mimi nishaijipata kwa shida because of the things we say. So when I talk about walking style and all that, I'm very observant when it comes to vitu naonanga town. I'm very quiet in person. Naongeanga nikiongeleshwa. Tukikutana mimi nimenyamaza. I observe a lot. So walking styles, behavior, I see that a lot. And I can't help it. Kwa akili yangu. Hata wewe vile tumekaa na wewe hapa. I've seen a lot of things. I've created a lot of things in my head. I look at you, I laugh. I look at your nose, your eyes, the way you smile. Nacheka.
Comedy hapa wewe talking.
Yeah, ukweli. Nikikuangalia hivi, I laugh at everything. Most of the pictures on my Instagram when ninacheka mpaka watu wananiambia wewe ufungangi mdomo. Lakini unajua pia kuna madhara ya kufunga mdomo. Yes. Ukifunga sana itanuka. Yeah. So it's good just to smile. So I observe a lot. I see people walking. So during the pandemic, watu wanatembea na uoga sana.
Right.
Yeah, they are so afraid. I don't know what they're afraid about because the virus is just not walking around, utakutana nayo. So, and then pia shida imefanya, walking style pia zimebadilika. You know, people are walking slowly nowadays. Yeah, try and observe in town. Go in town. People are no longer in a hurry.
Ile speed ya Nairobi.
Hakuna speed ya Nairobi anymore. People are just walking slowly. Even hata ikifika masaa ya curfew, now that it was extended, you know, you can't be in town at 10, surely, you know, there's no traffic jam at 10. So even if you stay in the office up to 9:30, you're still going to make it home by 11. Hata kama unaishi mwisho wa dunia. So nowadays, walking style, people are walking slowly. And then they're like, no, hata hakuna kazi nyingi. So tutembee tu pole pole. When people are just generally now slow. I've observed that. You try, go to town. Watu hana haraka. Unaenda wapi?
The thing I struggle with this in this season is the mask. Expressions za watu. You don't know kama unakatia mtu whether the points are going anywhere.
Me, I keep telling people to just remove the mask. Like you're talking to me, I'm like, ebu toa mask ni kuone. Because, we never know. Unaweza kuwa unaongea na mtu mwenye si yeye. Yeah, and then, by the way, for me, mask is menisaidia. You know, I never used to walk in town sana. I used to, kama nitatembea ni jioni ama nitavaka kofia. But nowadays with the mask, bro, I put on my mask and a kofia, I'll walk. I'll go even to Kirinyaga Road, I'll go to everywhere.
Lakini ukicheka si watu
I won't laugh. Sintanyamaza, najichekesha mimi ndani. So I go and observe what people are doing. I go into matatus nowadays. Vizuri sana, navaka kofia na mask, na napanda ma3. Nione what normally happens nowadays.
Okay.
Kino natembea huko, unaenda hata Rongai huko kula nyama, sasa unainua kwa mask, unaweka nyama, unarudisha, ndio watu wasikuone. But I actually go to see how watu wa kawaida na behave. Because without the mask, watu wanakusalimia, watu wanapiga picha, you can't sit in peace. Wengine wanakuletea ideas, I have this idea in comedy. Wengine wanakuja kutupea jokes, they come and tell you, I have this joke, and I know you can use it. Anakwambia joke yenye si funny, so you laugh, kumfurahisha, nakwambia aje umecheka, si unipatie because I know you're going to use it. Nipatie yangu, leta thao.
It's the cost of where you
so
are.
now I wear a mask and walk around to see to see what people are doing. Yeah, anywhere, hata usiku. Yeah.
Now, tell me, when are you on a high in comedy? What I mean, when you go home, when are you able to say that was a good day at work? Is it by how loud the laughter was? Is it the decibels? Is it by how many people came? Is it by the requests for selfies? How do you judge? Hey, you'll be in the office, which is
standing ovation.
All right.
If people give you a standing ovation, my friend, which rarely happens, people don't just give you a standing ovation. Yeah, like for us, comedians, I've seen them, all of them, all the comedians in the world, the standing ovation is the thing. If you make people laugh and they clap and stand when you're exiting the stage, bro, you've made it. You can do, even if you don't have money, you can ask for anything. You can go somewhere and say, later. You can go to a supermarket and shop, weke kila kitu na una pesa, and then you leave it at the counter. You know, because of furaha. Standing ovation is the highlight of every stand-up comedian. Or doing a nice show. Let me say, when people, even when we used to do stand-up comedy, you know, in Carnival, every time a comedian made people laugh most and they clap, or even our signature was Igwe, they would just say Igwe. Bro, you've made it. You go backstage where you meet other comedians seated and they also congratulate you and tell you, hey, Buddha, ilikuwa noma. You feel good, you feel nice, you know, and then you know very well you're not going back on stage again, so it's your day. You go and sleep in peace. And that is what, if you don't do that, if you get the opposite, whereby you go on stage and it's all dry. Now, the way you feel when you get a standing ovation, the opposite Because this feeling is so extreme. You feel extra good. The other one is you feel extra bad, extra sad. And you just go very frustrated in the house. You can't even sleep. You'll be looking forward to redeem yourself in the next show.
What?
Yeah, it's great. Making people laugh is the hardest job in the world.
So, okay, now let's...
Kukua daktari ni rahisi. Unaenda tu shule. You know you can be a doctor. You know you can be a pilot. Yes, you can. Even, hata saa hii, hata 50 years, you can go and study medicine and become a doctor. But you can't be a comedian. You can't decide, I'm tired with TV now, let me go be a comedian. You can't do that.
So just on that, how does one know that this is what I really want to do? In other words, how do you make a break into comedy?
For you, actually, let me say this one. For those people who don't understand spirituality, it's up to them. You just need to go to church or look for a pastor to expound this. Vision, dreams, discovering why you are born is very, very important in this world. When you are born, people say there are two important days in life, when you are born and when you die. No, not when you die. When you're born and when you know, when you discover why you're born. It's very key. If you don't know why you exist, anything will seem like what you're supposed to be doing. Anywhere in life will look like it. Will look like this is where I'm supposed to be. If you don't know where you're going, anywhere will look like it. If you don't know whether you're going to Mombasa, ukifika Mtito Ande, you can easily settle there. But if you know I'm going to Mombasa, ukifika Mtito unasema, see hapa, Mombasa kuna ocean, you keep going until you get there. And what did you go to do there? Go and do it. In life, if you don't discover why you are born, you can be stuck even in employment for 60 years, then go home with a wheelbarrow. If the employer will not give you, someone else is going to give you a wheelbarrow. So you need to discover why you are born. And that comes with talents, because even the Bible says that the gift of a man shall make room for you. For me, I said, it shall open doors for me. It shall make you stand before great men and not before mean men. It shall make you dine with kings. Through this talent, who haven't we met? Today, we invite the deputy president here to sit. Your gift is what will make you talk to him. Journalists are talented people. Not everybody can be a journalist, let me be honest. Journalism is a calling. Not everybody can even be an interviewer.
So for someone who has shown that talent and has a keen interest, has a vision, maybe they come, for example...
It must work.
If they come under your wing, for example, how do you start them off? Where do they find the jokes from?
It starts there. It starts from, do you have it? And we can tell. I can tell someone who actually is going to go far in comedy. You listen to them and you can tell this person has a vision, this person has an idea of what they want. And you help them. You help them how? You don't show them your way. No. You help them go the direction they want to go. Because you can see it. You look at them, see a trick, you can tell who you... And most of them came even without names. You know, Tricky had a name, there were two. Professor Amo came, akiitwa Haman. So they develop that, you help them. Unaona, huyu anaegemea pande ya kukua professor. Help him, alafu unamuongezea now what happens when you become a professor. Don't shave your hair. Professors are like, they have this kind of hair, they wear coat ziko hivi, they don't match. A stereotyping, because that's what you're doing. Not that professors are like that. It's just stereotyping. The end result is what? It's comedy. It's to make you laugh. So you exaggerate, hyperbole about a professor. You pick the least, ule professor avaangi poa, you maximize on that. You don't pick...
Socks as much.
Yeah, you don't pick Kivuda Kibwana. No, you pick mwenye anavanga socks as much. You stereotype. Because the end result is what? To make people laugh. You're just trying to make people laugh. You're making people happy. So you don't pick the best dressed professor because they're there. You pick wale wenye una imagine. And then you do that. So we help the comedians do that. And besides that, it's not just about your character may create. It's about the person inside. When you discover you realize also he has somehow seen the light. He has seen it inside that this is what I'm meant to do. This is what I want to do for life. He's not there for money. Yeye ni gift yake. You can tell huyu mtu atatoboa. So mskume, mpe motivation. Talk to them every day. Call them and ask them, mkoaje? How was today? When they do a nice show, tell them, hey, that was crazy, man. Now, let's forget about that. Let's focus on the one that will come.
And sasa MC, when you look back on your own life, unapoingia kwenye comedy, what are the do's and don'ts, the lessons that you wish someone had told you?
Don't drink alcohol.
Really?
Don't abuse drugs. You abuse drugs when you're doing comedy, you'll go bananas. Now imagine mimi vile mimi ni hyper. Niongezee cannabis sativa. Weka hapa, bro, nitachizi. Niongezee nini? Ulevi.
So it's a very sober profession.
You have to. Niongezee ulevi. Man, utachizi. You can't even do comedy while you're drunk. Do you know there's a comedian in Nigeria called Clint the Drunk?
Yeah.
He acts like a drunk guy. Anakuanga sober mbaya. He's so sober. But he's called Clint the Drunk. You can't smoke weed. You can't do those things. You can't do drugs. Utachizi. Because comedians border insanity. Hii ndio insanity. Hii ni world ya kuchizi hii huku. Hapa hivi. Comedians ako hapa. Nyinyi madaktari, wengine wako na huku mali life in happen. Hapa kwa edge. Here, this is where we border insanity. Ukicheza, una trip, unakuwa mwenda wazimu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So don't drink, don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs, man.
Another principle?
Don't do drugs. And the third one, don't do drugs. In entertainment, the greatest of the entertainers, besides just comedy, even in music, what killed Whitney Houston? What killed her daughter? What killed Michael Jackson? The greatest of them all. Drugs. Makado wanipe kazi. Drugs. Man, they can kill you. Alafu, look at it this way. When you're going on stage, you're talking to people. When you record, you're showing it on TV to people. Right here, we're talking to millions of Kenyans watching us from home. Who are they? Great people. The president is watching. The president watches our shows. How many times have I received clips of president's men showing him our clips on a mobile phone?
Na anacheka.
Inside Harambe One. Inside the president. Hey, anacheka. He knows us. When I got a chance to be the MC for Madaraka Day in Meru. When Madaraka Day was done in Meru, I was the MC there. When the president, when I MC'd there, the president said, let him do the state luncheon in Meru. So I went to MC also there, state luncheon. And I was just all alone. The president wakwapa nyuma yangu kumenyamaza, but I could hear them whisper PPI. I could Akwapo, him, the president, the deputy president, former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, the Speaker of the National Assembly, the Speaker of the Senate, and the governor. They were just behind me, like a few meters. I could hear what they were saying. And I whisper,
Police get to BBI.
Police get PPI, tanga. 2022. Nilikuwa nasikia hivyo. So when we were done and I say thank you, now when the president goes around saying hi to people, I was standing there, protocol first. So nilikuwa briefed vizuri sana for 2 weeks. Kufanya kitu ya 10 minutes. 2 weeks. Wakatembea akaenda round, niliambiwa nisimame hapo. Nikasimama. Do you know I was the last person he greeted? Akaenda round akakuja. When he came to me, he didn't say, what's your name? He called me by my name. He said, MC Jessy, wewe unanichekesha sana. You're smart. Afa akaniambia, kwani una simu tupige selfie? Simu yangu ilikuwa ishaenda na hawa tu. So, that's when I found it by the way. I didn't know where it was. I think in our joy walikuwa shachukua. So he just brought it. I was so happy for sure because I got my phone back. Akaleta, tukapiga selfie. He called me by my name. I was happy, you know, and that's what I'm saying. You never know who's watching you. We are talking to millions of Kenyans. You cannot afford to not be in your sober mind.
So professionalism?
You have to put it in. If you want to succeed in this industry, you have to put in professionalism. When the president alinita jina hivyo nikajua, kumbe ni ukweli wanatuonanga. When we joke about his people around him, because I joke about our politicians, me sinanga shida na wao. Because I meet them and I mimi ndio unananga wezi ni enjoy, si simply wanakuambia please ni enjoy. When I meet my governor, His Excellency Kiraitu Murungi, He doesn't call me wewe mtu wa micheko. Hapana. He calls me by my name. Na anaweza niuliza about something I said about him. So meaning they are watching. The leaders are watching. When I go to hospital, when I go to banks, people greet me. Hey, MC Jessy, vipi? We kuja huku. Fame privileges. Unaambiwa ukuje uketi huku. Iko na tu faida twake. Saa ingine kuna mahali unaweza enda na hautalipa. To benefit. Unaenda holiday. Ulipi. Watu wanadhani umelipa. So umelipiwa na travel companies. So you meet these different people. You cannot afford to not take them serious. Ati sasa wewe unaenda kuongelesha watu umelewa. It means you're not also taking your audience seriously.
Okay.
Respect the people and just be sober. Ukiumelewa, you're not in your correct state of mind. You cannot think. You can say things that are not, appropriate. And maybe you're live on TV. Okay. I'm sober right now.
I can see.
Already.
So now
you need to be sober.
Talking about Meru, I know you do quite a lot of charitable work there. Umesaidia, widows. You've helped, people who are struggling. You've made donations in churches. What inspires this?
Well, Meru is Bay. That's what I say. I was born there, and I love those people. I love my community so much. We used to be categorized as, talking of now tribes, we used to be among Kikuyus. For me, I never used to like that because I said, we have an identity. We are Merus. We have our culture. I grew up there. I loved the culture. I was born in Meru. Yeah, I went to study somewhere else and all, and then came back to Meru. I loved the culture. The culture that I know even my children must go through is the circumcision. Ya Kimeru. Hey! It makes you a man. In Meru, we are taught to respect women. We are taught not to sit with your mother in the kitchen. Meru men, for those people who are married to Meru men, let me tell you, don't despise them when they don't go to the kitchen to cook for you, which is purported to be romance. Like I want a lady will be like, I want a man that can cook for me. I want him to wash dishes. In Meru, so it's not being romantic.
Let me pause you there because it reminded me of someone I know in this building who sees me carrying. He's also from Meru. Sees me carrying my lunchbox from home. Say, if you're a Meru man, you will not be seen carrying this kind of thing.
You can't do those things.
A Meru man walks out of his house. You're not supposed to look back. Once you walk out, you.
Wewe unabebana na chakula ya bibi.
Kwani mnaendaga jeshi training?
No, it's not jeshi. It's our culture, the culture of respect, the culture of kuheshimu wazee. We still live in age sets and age group. Our age group was initiated into adulthood. I'm talking of circumcision, not just the action. It's initiation to adulthood by a group that was ahead of us. And for us, we initiated the next one. It's like a relay. For men, we train men. We train Meru men. Watu sema wa Meru wana asira. Si asira ni kujipanga. It's just that tunajuanga.
What's the difference?
The difference is this. Hatuna asira ni kujipanga. So wewe utani misunderstand. Alafu nitakukasirikia because wewe uheshimu. Why are you slapping your wife? To us, we don't. We are taught to respect women. That is the key thing in Meru. We don't sit in the same kitchen, I was telling you, with your mother. Kwa sababu akikaa pande ile na huko pande hii na kuna moto hapa mnapika, ka accident kanaweza tokea aketi vibaya, alafu umuone uchi jameni.
Which is a taboo.
It's a curse. To us, it's a curse. So we don't do that because of that. We don't just, you can't play around with your sisters. That's why you don't hear a lot of rape cases in Meru or incest. Ati huyu alilala na sistake, alilala na cousin. You will never hear such things in Meru. It's a very respectable society. And we are like we live like the royals. Men are supposed to be served. And men are supposed to take care of the family. So as Meru men, ukisha toka, huyu alikuambia we are not supposed to carry the lunchbox. Yeah, it's true. Ukisha toka kama mwanaume Meru, umeenda kuhunt, umeenda kutafuta. Then you're supposed to come back with something. The people you left are waiting for something from you. So as a man, we are taught to work. and not steal. Let me ask you, you've read here kwa news. News. How many Meru names have you read kwa corruption zenye zina exist? There might be there, lakini maybe wame interact na other communities. Wakaspoiliwa. But Meru men we don't steal. Like for example, stealing to us is a taboo. Like mwizi hata ukijaribu kutetea mwizi utakufa na yeye.
Okay.
That is my society.
To see you watu kwanza, because we need to take a break. And we'll be right back. We have more of your feedback actually on a hashtag New Normal, and this is what you're saying to us. We asked you, what is the best joke that you've ever had? And Step Wanguru says, BBI is the only living joke. Okay, sawa. This is from Martin Innocentio Lee. That BBI will change the life of youths. How? Okay, we'll be told soon. Alex Kirong, BBI in the middle of a pandemic? Nonsense. Okay, this is from Metrin Wasike. Makanga refusing to give me back my change. Sawa, yunatokeaga sana. And then this is from Kenny Aguero. He say, I've heard a good number of jokes, but this one of awarding 1 shilling to XPS Lilian Omolo is really a complete version of the modern joke. Shilingi moja tu, imagine. Aya. Then fellow Kenyan, PS Lilian Omolo awarded Ken shillings 1 million by Kenyan court for being dismissed irregularly. You also found it quite funny. And Mbanzwen, you say schools closing with only 1 victim of COVID-19, then opening when the cases are increasing. United Republic of Kenya. This is who? Charles Musioka. My fellow Kenyans. Okay, thank you so much. We'll be right back with more in the final leg of this show with MC Jessy. Stay tuned.
Prison, I thought a lot about you.
This is not acceptable!
We know you love milk, and now there is milk that loves you. With Gold Crown lactose-free milk, you can enjoy the richness of natural cow's milk without any of the digestion discomfort. Gold Crown lactose-free, milk that loves you.
Love garlic in your food but hate the hustle of making it? Introducing Fresh Fried Garlic, specially crafted with garlic oil for healthy living. The oil has a beautiful garlic aroma and adds an extra kick when used on your favorite meals. Fresh Fried Garlic combines wonderfully on salads, stir fries, marination for meat, or simply when sprinkled on your favorite dish. Try Fresh Fried Garlic today. Available in all leading outlets countrywide.
Umewahi jichanganya ukanunua choko yako ikuwe alamu, alafu bwana yako akakuja jioni akakula hiyo alamu akaitengeneza kitoweo. Kuna karembo hapa kananiangalia kameshanga, kamecheka mpaka lipstick huko imeisha. Anacheka na mdomo ya chwati.
Our shelves are fully stocked and prices greatly discounted for you to make that quick and easy return to school. With thousands of back-to-school items, price cuts on your Chuo favorites, and points to score on your Naivas card. Back to school that's safe on your pocket. Naivas saves you money.
Linda assist na Absa, the official banking partner of the EPL in Africa. Stand a chance to win 1 million Kenya shillings every month when you deposit into your Absa personal or business account. That's Absa. That's Africanacity.
Maji mdosi wangu ametupa simu yangu ndani ya maji.
Mdosi wako kwa sawa. Venye Nkirota ameniambia ajui na akimpigia simu ashiki. Hi, guy, what the?
Let them know irritation. For the women who deserve more, Moped is now in Kenya and more than 40 countries. With its nylon-free surface, new Moped has unique softness and up to 100% protection. Your skin will love it.
On this
this week's episode of Talk It Out from the BBC Live Clinic. Living with pain, whether mental or physical, can be a daunting experience for many people.
Nilikuwa katika dilemma na nilijisi pia mpweke kwa sababu sikuwa na mtu wa kumwambia.
Would you say you felt particularly stigmatized?
They will judge you. They will judge you at any cost.
When people do not understand something, they tend to, label it.
Remember to catch us this and every week on Talk It Out.
The procedure of reporting assets to Unclaimed Financial Assets Authority. Write an email to holders@ufaa.go.ke to request your profile to be created. Unclaimed Financial Assets Authority. Receive, safeguard, reunite.
Welcome back to Your World. My name is Joseph Warungu, and this morning we're focusing on comedy. My guest is MC Jessy, otherwise known as Jasper Mudhomi, and those aerial pictures of Meru just keep him happy because he says he loves to go where he belongs. He's crossed 14 rivers to get here. We need him to cross another 14 going back when he's already 65 and retired and becoming the biggest name in Meru comedy.
Governor.
Governor. Very good. Jessy, but just before we get into all the serious business of comedy, let's look at what else is going on around our world. Now, a Dutch startup has created the world's first living coffin made from mushrooms at the Delft University of Technology, an invention that its founder, Bob Hendricks, says will help to decompose the body faster and enrich nature instead of polluting it.
So this is world's first living coffin, and actually last Saturday the first human being in the Netherlands was composted and returned into the cycle of life. This is the most natural way to do it, in which we no longer pollute the environment with toxins in our body and all the stuff that goes into the coffins, but actually try to enrich it and really be compost for nature. Yeah, so it's actually an organism, so it's made from mycelium, which is the root structure of mushrooms, and they're the biggest recyclers in nature, so they can decompose our body into new nutrients for nature to flourish. It's together with the mycelium and a lot of microorganisms inside, that you can see here, that's going to fasten up the decomposition process. But not only the decomposition process, it also neutralizes toxins in the soil and in our body, and really enriches nature.
No gold-plated coffin, just mushroom. Now, as the UK approaches the end of its transition period out of the EU, no deal has been reached on how cross-border trade will work from January the 1st. One of the most emotive issues for the UK is fishing, with many in the industry strongly supporting the 2016 vote to leave the EU due to what they see as an unfair quota system. As the crunch point for negotiations approaches, fishermen in the south coast port of New Haven remain confident they'll get a better system post-Brexit.
As they pay out their nets into the English Channel, deckhand Nathan and skipper Neil are hoping Brexit will bring them a big catch. By the time dawn lights the horizon, they've been at sea for nearly 2 hours already. But despite their hard work, Neil says there's only so much he can do while EU rules remain in place.
They control what we do, what we catch, what we can't catch. They call it stability, relative stability, but unfortunately that means the French get most of the quota, especially for this area.
On the 1st of January, Britain's transition period out of EU membership comes to an end, and so far there's no agreement on what comes next. But Neil hopes the UK will end up with more control of its own waters. Right now, European fishermen catch more in UK waters than British vessels do. But keeping foreign boats out could come at a price, because the UK will still need to sell its fish in mainland Europe.
So in basic terms, for the UK, it will mean more fish, probably, for UK fishers, but it will also mean more difficult access to the EU as a result. And ultimately, what fishing is about is selling the fish, not catching it. So the UK will want to make sure that it still has favourable terms to trade with the EU, not just more capability to catch fish.
If no deal is reached, then the UK could keep EU boats out of its waters, while Europe could put tariffs on British fish. Back in port, though, there's confidence Boris Johnson will get a good result for British fishermen.
I know the government's been very focused on the negotiations. They're doing an excellent job of negotiation with fisheries. I don't think they've taken the eye off the ball. And in my opinion, this is the best government for fishing we've ever had.
With the negotiations entering their final weeks, it won't be long now until Britain's fishermen know if their strong support of Brexit has been worth it.
At the plush Amani Hotel in the shadow of the Burj Khalifa, the world's tallest tower, a rabbi switches on the stoves at what is billed as Dubai's first kosher restaurant. With the ink still fresh on the United Arab Emirates' landmark normalization accord with Israel, restaurants and caterers are rushing to prepare for what they hope will be a flood of Jewish visitors arriving on new direct flights.
The challenges of running a kosher kitchen in the UAE is that, especially now following the Abraham Accord, there's a high demand and the industry is not really set up for that. In terms of imports, it's really hard to get a lot of products, especially the meats and the cheeses, that sort of thing. But in terms of actually opening a kitchen, you can open a kitchen, but then you need to have the rabbi with you. And there are not many rabbis here, so hence we had to bring in a rabbi for this specific task. So there are various kosher products in the supermarkets, but they're mainly dry goods. However, the fresh stuff, such as the dairy products and then of course meats, are something that we can't get hold of. So that's something that is being worked on now, and the industry needs to be able to import those.
The idea for us to open these restaurants was to be able to provide a five-star experience to Jewish or anybody who wants to try kosher food. It didn't make any sense to make home cooking food. We wanted to have a wide experience. So the people, when they come in Armani Cafe, they will have Armani experience.
Rare pink dolphins are returning to the waters in Hong Kong after the coronavirus pandemic halted ferries. But scientists remain deeply concerned about their long-term survival in one of the world's busiest sea lanes.
The fast ferries have stopped. It's become easier to see dolphins within the area where the fast ferries used to travel. And not only are we seeing them more easily, we're also seeing them engage in behaviors that we didn't observe frequently before. So behaviors like feeding and behaviors like socializing, interacting with one another. This is a really rare and exciting opportunity to study a dolphin population that has been threatened with so many anthropogenic impacts. What happens when you take one of those out? And the fact that we've seen such a dramatic change, initially, still early days, from just one of those impacts going away is a really positive shift, hopefully. There's becoming less and less area for the dolphins to use in Hong Kong waters, so the idea that we've now identified a habitat that could then be reclaimed by them and could really use to support their population is a good one.
But tragically, over the last 10 to 15 years especially, the numbers of dolphins have been really seriously declining. So we estimate somewhere between 70, maybe 80% decline over the last 15 years. And that's really tragic. These are slow growing, slow breeding animals, so they need very careful management and so on.
So, welcome back to our conversation with MC Jessy. Now, we didn't quite complete the answer. I asked you a question and then you took me for about 15 minutes on a tour of Meru. That's why I revenge with the forest, you know. So, when you go to give support back home in Meru to widows and even to churches, what inspires that?
Having grown there, I've seen how and I know the problems that the people of Meru go through, especially in my village. So I try as much as I can to participate back there. What's the essence of being in Nairobi, tunatembea ma children's home, trying to show how we are helping, and back there, hakuna kitu unafanya? Charity begins at home. My people will be the last people to see me during my last days in this world. So if I don't take care of them, during my time wakati nitawahitaji, no one will be there to take care of me. So in our village, you never grew with electricity, and so I felt that, you know, hakuna vile naweza enda Meru, and then I put electricity kwetu tu. The whole village needs electricity. Thank God for our governor who had brought electricity closer, so he didn't pay a lot of money, but the distribution, these people are poor. No one will be there to put electricity for them. I am a child from that community. I was made by the community. I didn't grow up with like, you know, ati sijui watu wengi wametoka town nini. These are the people I know. So when unabarikiwa, bariki even the person that is next to you. If you're a rich person amongst poor people, trust me, you are the other poor person. So you must, so doing electricity in my village was for all of us. God has many blessed for the sake of my community. The church, if the church doesn't look good, hakuna vile, tuko na harambee hata hii wiki inakuja, the first week of November, hiyo tarehe moja. I have to go, because my church, where I was baptized, hiyo kanisa ya Catholic iko hapo. We have to make it look good. Wakati utanitembelea Joseph, ukuje in Meru. And then you find out even our church inakaa vibaya. You know, it's me. Utaniuliza Jessy in Nairobi, uko kwa TV all over, na kanisa yenu inakaa hivi. Hey, hapana, I can't let Father Kiremi round bwana. I can't walk around with widows, hawana maji. When you visit me in my village, what will you say? Jessy uko Nairobi, unatuonyesha vile unaogelea Masai Mara na Mombasa, na kwenu, the widow next door, hana maji. No, I can't stand that.
Now just talk about your village, because I know just a bit of your childhood. When you lost both of your parents at an early age, which almost cost you an education. How much has that influenced the man that you are and the comedian that you are?
Well, the society, I'm telling you, is the one that made this man. I can't say I'm self-made. The people, those widows, are the ones that used to bring food to me when I was, during our initiation time, you're supposed to be isolated, na unafungiwa huko. So I didn't have parents to cook for me. So the society, those widows are the ones who are sending milk. Wako na ng'ombe moja lakini maziwa chupa moja asubuhi, I know it's mine. The food that some of them walikuwa nayo. There was one alikuwa hapo juu yetu, alikuwa na afford sukari. Uji yenye nilikuwa nakunywa kila asubuhi, I knew sugar came from her. Those people in the society, the love I received from my community in Meru, they made me. Because they showed me a lot of love. I never at one point felt alone. I've never felt at niko peke yangu kwa hii dunia. I only felt alone when I came to Nairobi. Niko, hey, Jesus, funke. So this place, ni kila mtu kivyake. And I was used to, the neighbor akona maziwa anashare.
Community.
Community. So, and that's the same thing I try to embrace back. I've never grown out of my village. I'm still, Christmas mi wezi nipata place ingine. I have to go home, tutakula. We normally do one bash for all of us, kwa village. It happens in our home. All the neighbors, tunakuja pamoja. Father anakuja, tunafanya mass home. And then we eat together, tunafurahi. Now they come to see me actually. People come so that they can hear, Jessy wetu ule wa TV, leo tuchekeshe. I have to do it because I've been with them, tulikuwa tunacheka zamani. I have friends huko kwa village.
Sasa you switch to Meru jokes, ama?
Yeah, of course. I speak Kimeru. Vizuri sana. I speak all the Merus.
Yeah.
Kitigania, Kimenti, Kiregoji. I speak all of them.
So now let me, because we're on our last minutes of the show, you give us a really good insight into what it takes to make a break into comedy. What about once you're there? How do you stay on top of your game? And I mean, for you, you're constantly reinventing yourself. Corona ikija, unafungua kwingine channels za YouTube na nini. For someone who's new or just making their way, how do you stay on top of your game as a comedian?
Don't forget, do not despise the days of your humble beginning. That's what I'll say. Do not despise the days of your humble beginning. Respect the process. If you've gone through the process of making yourself, because some people want to come, unaingia form 1, unataka to graduate the following day. You want to do KCSE, the rest. What I mean is you've just joined comedy, and then tomorrow you want to be MC Jessy. You want to be Churchill. It's not possible. There's a process. Lazima upite, ulan. Otherwise, when you get to the top there, you'll be so frustrated. Otherwise, when you get there, you won't be able to relate with people. So by the time you get there, respect the process of growth. When you take the staircases, you respect the energy you're using to go up. When you take the lift, you will never know the energies that are required to get to 10th floor. But when you take the staircases, you'll know the energies that are required to get to 10th floor. Once you get to 10th floor, you'll do everything that you're supposed to do before you go down. Because your energy si mchezo. But using lift, hata unaweza sahau simu uende chini na urudi. So you need to respect the process of growth in comedy so that when you get there, you'll be able to sustain your energy. You'll be able to respect people. Joseph Warungu akikuita NTV, you'll be able to know, wacha niende. That's a respectable man with a good reputation. Let me go. When unaitwa mahali, you'll have respect for people. You won't be abusing people all over. You won't be looking at Churchill unamuona kama matope na kama si yeye aungekuwa who you are. That's what I mean by despising the days of your humble beginnings. And every challenge that comes, you'll be able to overcome it. You have respected the... Don't rush. Moto ya karatasi, hapana. Take it easy. Take your time. It takes time. And then above all, God. God is all you need to have all your things met. Now, God is what you need to have that strength, the grace to remain upon you.
Sasa, how much room is there in this house called the comedy industry of Kenya? Because when I look back over the years, you can count the number of big names that have come up, Churchill, like Eric Omondi, yourself, Jalango, and so on. The constant faces that we see. How much room is there for new talent to come in?
So much, Jose, let me tell you. There's so much in the industry. We can't, ata tutoshi. We thank God for the corporates. The corporates really love comedians because when it comes to December inakuja, I know they'll still do staff parties. The MC will be a comedian. Some people paid, Kina KJ and Nyambane paid the price for us. They made sure that the corporates, they lived a respectable and gave a respectable kind of a character that the corporates still respect that to us. We took the mantle, tunaiendeleza. Would like to pass the same to the rest. That's why you are coaching. Lakini wengine wana mbio sana. They don't want to respect the process. Hiyo nasema. Wako na mbio moto ya karatasi. To an extent that it's hard sometimes for us when tumeshika hiyo system kuambia vijana, come on man, relax, take it easy. Hiyo Mercedes utaendesha. Mercedes iendi mahali. Hiyo V8 iendi mahali, utaendesha. Just chipange, my friend. Maisha ni kuchipanga. So we try to do that because comedy ni kubwa. It's just that everybody wants to do the same thing. We all want to be on Churchill show. You can do something. Jessy Junction is there. It's another avenue. Jalango is having Bonga na Jalas on his own. We have others that are acting. I've seen the young boys that came from Churchill Show, Kina Sami Kiyoko, Tom Dagradi. They're acting something on YouTube. The avenues are there. And the people are always coming to comedians. Push for us this product. But what is your value? You'll get value once you value yourself and put a mark on you and just be good with what you're doing. The corporates will come. They'll pay what you'll say. But kama wewe ni wa mcheza moto ya karatasi, they won't. If you're also not serious and a drunkard, you won't get the jobs that are there. Utaka ukisema kina Jessy ndio wamechukua, wamekale hizo kazi hapo. Hapana. Why don't you then do what Jessy is doing?
Okay.
Ofweneke came as a young person and started following. I can sure tell you, at least I coached that one hivi, juu tulitoana kanisani. Nikamwambia, no, don't do that. Dress like this. Ukiitwa mahali, watch out how you're dressing. Because it's a famous quote. You are addressed the way you're dressed. Ningekuja hapa na matambara, trust me, kuna watu wangesema, kijana anakaaje. You must be cautious of what you're doing. The industry is huge. Hata tujajaza. Today, Dr. Kingori does a show here. That's a different one. It's still comedy. So the industry is so big. Other stations, hazina nini, comedy kama hizi tunafanya, hatujajaza. There's room. NTV only have Churchill show on Sunday. Raw was on Thursday. Hizi siku zingine. Tujazie NTV comedy. Tujazie another station comedy. Another one comedy.
So when you look at the future of comedy, is it digital? Is there still room for stand-up? When you look ahead, unaonaje?
First, digital. Digital is working in an amazing way because you are your own rate card. On Jessy Junction, we have a lot of advertisers. The way people call NTV sales, they call Jessy Junction.
You also have a sales department.
Yeah, we have a sales department now on Jessy Junction. We have clients that call. We have them. We do what NTV does.
You have a rate card.
Wakifanya squeeze back, we do squeeze back. Wakifanya lower third, we do the same.
Ushakuwa station in short.
Ushakuwa station. So there is a chance on digital because the calls I get, Jessy would like you to be on. There's somebody who is buying the whole set now. Wants us to do it kwa seta.
With their own branding.
Yeah. We want you to say this. You see, that is TV going digital. There is a chance there. The second one, we have not exploited stand-up comedy like one-man show. It's been tried. Churchill did it. Eric Omondi has done it. Chipukizi had done it. I tried it at KICC. It's MCA Tricky did it. Kingori did it. We are now trying. We are at the teething process. And as I said, it's a process. It's a process. It will come to be the big thing in this country. So the ones that actually have the vision, as I spoke earlier, the vision about what they want to do in comedy, will reap the benefits thereof.
Good things come to those who wait.
Yes, it will come. Kina KJ walifanya hiyo ya kutuleta kwa corporate.
They paved the way.
We saw it also. They paid it. They started with the teething process. We are the ones benefiting. So we are trying the stand-up comedy, one man. There are some that will benefit.
My last question, MC Jessy. You make us laugh. What makes you laugh?
Kila kitu. I laugh at anything. Okay. And as I said, maisha. I love just being happy. People are so funny. You're funny too. Nikwambia nini funny na wewe? Mapua yako imenichekesha.
Kia Mungu. Seriously, a whole sasa in front of national TV. This is the last time I invite you. Anyway, tulikuwa na plans za kupeleka sijui wapi. Now let me end with this one. You make fun of people, but I've got something here that we want to make fun of MC Jessy. Ushaona hiyo picha? Ushaona hiyo nini?
Hey, picha imetembea. KRA need to pay me. Wameitumia sana ati the way KRA wanakuangalia ukilipwa pesa. Now this is how KRA is looking at PS. Vile amelipwa 1 shilling.
1 shilling.
Wanashindwa tutamtax. Tutatax nini hapa?
Maybe 40 cents.
But this is my favorite picture, actually.
Right.
Yes. Okay. It was taken by my producer when we were shooting a commercial for Tuskies.
Okay.
Alinipata off guard. Nilikuwa nimezuba nikiangalia.
It wasn't planned.
No, it wasn't planned. Me, other guys were recording, so I was like, come on guys, let's finish and go. Kuna mtu alikuwa anashika lines.
Yeah.
So I was so bored. Si umalize 20.
Kumbe kuna watu slow pia kwenye comedy.
So this guy caught me kana nimezuba. It wasn't a photo shoot.
Okay.
We were doing an ad and akanipata.
Fantastic. Guess what? We could speak for hours and hours with MC Jessy. But that's all NTV allows us time for, 2 hours. Thank you so much for your company this morning. Just before we go, we've got some comments from you. We asked you, yes, what's the best joke that you've ever had? And Oryx umesema ukibuy gari second hand Ghana inaweza kwa menkuruma, I mean kwa makunguruma. Thank you very much, Mwalimu Josephat. We need 2 senators in every county, okay? Yoni BBI. Rashid wasema, that awkward moment when you can't find the long side of a blanket. Na hiyo inakuwaga stress. Hadam be what, being idle ni risk sana. Mtu anaweza anza kuhesabu masiku za mwizi, okay? Na zinakuwaga 40. Eric Munyari unasema, thanks for bringing this legend. Say hi, hugging face. Murume, really enjoying the show, okay? Wewe na Munyari 254, amekupata vizuri sana. Thank you so much indeed. Comment another one here, Gatehi Janet. We're great to have MC Jessy this morning. But Jessy, if you're not allowed to go to the kitchen as a Meruman, how is one expected to survive as a bachelor? Actually, hata kwa show yake nimeona mahali anaonyesha watu how to make different things. Hatukumuuliza which kitchen was he using. But anyway, Sanchez Taveni. Some courses are traditionally associated with money, such as being a pilot, doctor, engineer, etc. However, courses such as comedy, media, etc. are demonized as trashy jobs. That's all we have time for. We leave you with those memories of MC Jessy at his best, exclusively on NTV, Your World. Sante sana. We're back on Monday morning at 7 a.m. Before then, as always, 6:30 tunaanzanga na tizi nyumbani to keep you fit. Enjoy your weekend. Keep safe on behalf of my team here. Thank you so much, and thank you, MC Jessy. Bye.